Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, everyone's doing well. Today is September 11th. Today's a big day, right? September 11th, 9/11, as some people call it, right? So, yeah, today we're going to talk about real estate. We're going to be talking about, networking, and your network is your net worth. I'm just outside here at our house. That's Millie in the background. You will see Millie does not stop, looking around, and I'll tell you why in a bit. But she's an A-type personality. She's got some drive. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about networking. We're going to be talking about creative financing, other people's money, right? How Mel and I purchased real estate now in 5 different countries doing so. But I wanted to start off again just talking about yes, today is 9/11. I'm not sure how much you know about Mel and I. Well, I guess Mel wasn't a firefighter, but I was a firefighter before. Actually, my first day, I started out with Ottawa Fire. So my first day with the Ottawa Fire Department was actually on 9/11, 2011. So it was the 10-year anniversary of 9/11. And I got to see the impact, of the community and that type of stuff. I know it's Ottawa, not New York, but just seeing, how people respect those professions. And just again, just a shout out to all those people that lost their lives on this day, and the families that have to deal with the aftermath, right? Police, fire, ambulance, nurses, emergency services, doctors, like all of that, right? It's not just police, fire, ambulance, but and also to the people that continue, right? The people that continue to provide that service. So anyway, just want to say thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for risking your life all the time and helping people out in their worst scenarios. So let's dive in with networking. Oh, Millie just took a rest, so we're good for a bit. Don't worry, she'll be back at it. But yeah, so networking. For those of you, again, I'm live on all social media platforms. Feel free to ask any questions if you have questions at any time, right? Q&A. But what was I going to say? Tomorrow, if you're not following us on YouTube, make sure to do so. We're just about to hit 75,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. And tomorrow we're going to be releasing a video of Abigail. She's part of our Action family. She's got an amazing story of how she's purchasing assets or acquired units. And one of the things that she did say was, again, your network is your net worth, right? And this was Mel that interviewed her, right? It was a Woman of Action show. That's Mel's version of the podcast, not mine. But Abigail kept saying that, yeah, your network is your net worth. And she was talking about how in the Action family, because we have over 2,100 members now, that the networking is so powerful because it's like-minded individuals who understand real estate, who have the same goals. They want to grow a portfolio and they want to do so helping others, right? While helping themselves, right? It's a win-win scenario. It's a give more than you take scenario. So yeah, it's a pretty cool episode. Like I said, it gets released tomorrow. Abigail's crushing it. Can't wait to see what she does. The other really cool thing that she mentions, and this is something that people don't talk about enough. I know Mel and I, we shout it from the rooftop, but everyone's always like, I want to buy. I want to grow my portfolio. I want to have 100 units. I want to get 10 deals. Okay, that's all doable, right? You can definitely do all of that. And Mel and I absolutely love growth, right? That's something we really love. However, there's a sweet spot. And what I mean by a sweet spot is, yeah, you can continue to grow and acquire assets and be in acquisition mode, which is, the funner side of things, because you get to say, hey, I close another deal, or hey, look at me. Like, I get it. However, there still needs to be a repositioning period, right? A stabilization and repositioning period where, let's say you bought 5 deals, okay, and they were all duplexes. So you got 10 units now. Awesome, right? Give yourself one of these. It's absolutely amazing. You've got double digits units. However, now the work also begins in another side of things, right? Now you need to stabilize the assets. So especially if you're using other people's money in creative financing like Mel and I do, or, well, even if you use your own money, right? You want to get your own money back too at some point as well, right? But even more important is when you do use someone else's money, like we like to do with our deals, you absolutely have to, non-negotiable, have these plans in place and have an exit strategy in place, right? And that's exactly what we specialize on. So like Abigail is saying in the YouTube video that releases tomorrow, make sure that you are following us on YouTube so you can check it out. It's an awesome episode with her and Mel on the Women of Action show, and she's part of our Action family. But that is some secret sauce that has allowed Mel and I to have, right? Growth, stabilize, growth, stabilize, growth, reposition. So we're still growing all the time. Like this year, we've already done 7 deals. But they were done in the premise of, I would rather do the deal right. I would rather have a stable portfolio and have a plan and have books in order, renovations in order, timelines being met. I'd rather focus on that than continue to focus all the efforts on just acquisition and let this side of the equation fall, right? And that's what I see. I see people that have this explosive growth. They get, hooked on the feeling of, I'd rather buy and get that, that dopamine, that fun, that excitement of acquisition and growing than, yeah, I got to take care of my portfolio and make sure that things are humming along and running smoothly, right? So they let go of that side of the responsibility. So I really like Abigail's episode because she talks about that. She talks about it's important to do that. She talks about the network and the net worth, right? And if you really think about it, right, your net worth is your network is your net worth, right? If you're hanging around people that are constantly, putting you down or naysayers about real estate, do you think you're going to grow a real estate portfolio? Or do you think you're going to go, you know what, eventually when you're having a tough day or, you analyzed a deal and it didn't make sense. And then you're thinking, maybe they are right. Maybe this real estate thing won't work for me or doesn't work here or that doesn't creative financing is a myth. Well, that's why it's important. And that's why, again, I'm stealing Abigail's words about the networking. That's why the Action family is so important because it is a group. It's a nest. It's a safe zone. It's 2,100 members who get it, who understand that you want to grow a portfolio, that understand creative financing, that understand that, yeah, real estate's not always going to be rosy, right? It's not always going to be, hey, everyone treats your rental unit better than you would. Is anyone, not ever late on rent sometimes? Like, of course, there's going to be some things that happen. I'd be lying to you if I said it's always rosy. And if you're thinking everything is always going to be rosy and whatever investment I do, good luck, right? Stocks are not all rosy either. Bitcoin's not all rosy either. Real estate has its ups and downs, but it's prepping yourself, having a network of individuals who have been there and done that, who can help you pivot and go through that. So, Ben, serious question. If you're making so much houses, why would you buy over Insta try to sell the course? Ooh, I like that, Ben. Great question. We get this all the time. So, okay. In life, there are different buckets, right? In life, there are different buckets. There's money buckets, there's friendship buckets, there's family buckets, there's community buckets, there's giving back buckets. So, Ben, you're bang on. Do Mel and I have to do the Action family? No, we don't have to, right? We could sail off in the sunset and do nothing the rest of our lives, which sounds boring to me. Okay, let's talk about this. In what year was it? 2018. That's right. The same year my dad died. So in 2018, Mel and I had a terrible car crash. Okay. And those of you who've been following us, you guys know this. We almost died. We were in a Suburban. We were in the middle. We weren't driving. We were in the mid row. And we rolled on the highway multiple times. I think the bystander said they saw like 4 or 5 times. We almost died. Okay. And the webinar. Yeah. DM us the word live and we'll send you the webinar to check it out. But back to 121, Ben. Back to that. When you almost die, Ben, your life changes. Okay. And I strongly believe, my dad had died that January, and this happened to us. I think it was July 7th or 8th. It was June 7th, 2018. He was there with us that day, right? He definitely saved us because even the police officers were like, usually we come to these calls and it's with the coroner. So you guys, I get goosebumps when I talk about it. You guys escaped this somehow, right? And then you start thinking and realizing like, this didn't happen to us. This happened for us. We should have died, but we didn't, right? And then you start going down the rabbit hole. Because Ben, we used to be like this with our knowledge, right? We used to not tell anyone. We used to not share any information. We used to have scarcity mindset. And when we almost died that day in 2018, we were like, our kids don't even know how we do this. Like, why are we, our friends, our family, our kids don't even know how we're doing this. And then that same weekend, we went to the real estate conference in Niagara Falls that we were on our way to, and we wrote our Amazon, one of 3 Amazon best-selling books. And then we realized there's so much money out there. There's so much real estate out there. Why are we not helping other people? Okay. And Ben, I'm getting to your answer here. So for those points. Now, the other thing too, so we have over 2,100 members in our Action family, and we have hundreds and hundreds of success stories, right? People quitting their jobs, people retiring their parents, people going on their dream vacations to Disney World, people who are, going on, buying vacation places or doing whatever they want. They're living their best life. Okay. When they come back and say, thank you, Mel and Dave, for helping me do this. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Mel and Dave, for creating this amazing community and group that helps support me and helps me throughout my journey. Like, that's a different bucket, Ben, like I was saying earlier, of giving back and knowing that you've changed someone's outcome for the rest of their lives. Money can't buy that, right? So like, that's something, again, why Mel and I do coaching and mentoring is community, group, giving back. And when you get that, like, it happens all the time now, but I still remember the first time that someone said, hey, you've changed not only my life, but my kids' life for the rest of their lives. Mel and I were floored and we're like, holy smokes, this coaching and mentoring thing is amazing. We're actually helping people. So yeah, great question, Ben. That's why Mel and I are coaches and mentors. Like I said, like, I need purpose. The same thing with people that say, Dave, don't you have enough real estate now? Yeah, I do have enough real estate. Even the accountants are like, yeah, you're good. And I'm like, okay, well, that's boring to me. I don't, I want to play Monopoly for real life. And that's what we do. And that's why sometimes we sell. That's why sometimes we refinance. That's why sometimes we go into different countries, is because I want to play Monopoly for real life. And that's what it is. It's purpose, it's fun, it's drive, it's growth, it's excitement. So yeah, good question, Ben. That's why Mel and I are coaches and mentors. Oh yeah, Sweet Escape. Oh, if anyone wants, Mel and I are going live tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a webinar. We're actually going to be analyzing like 4 or 5 deals on the webinar. DM us the word live, and you actually get our free ebook. You get our Amazon best-selling ebook if you join live. Someone is saying here, Vita, I see a lot of traders. Who are saying only they can help to make profit with trading. How can you prove that? I'm not a trader. I'm not a stock or Bitcoin trader or anything like that. I'm a real estate investor. So I'm not your guy, Vita. I don't know what to tell you about trading. I'm not. That's not me. But yeah, back to Abigail's story. Like I said, our YouTube video releases tomorrow about network is your net worth. I will chat about that more on the webinar tomorrow as well. But something else I said at the start, and if you're just logging in here to the live from whatever platform you're on, because we're live on all platforms, today is September 11th. Oh, Millie, sorry, my dog probably hears something. If you hear barking, that's either the neighbor's dog or my dog. But what was I going to say? Yeah, today's September 11th. So thank you to all the men and women who are police, fire, ambulance, nurses, doctors, any emergency service out there. I'm forgetting some, I know that. Thank you so much for what you do, and thank you so much for keeping us safe and sound. Those of you that don't know, I was a firefighter excuse me, in Ottawa before, and then in my city here in North Bay, Ontario, where I live, Canada. And I've now since quit or retired, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, thank you so much for the men and women who continue to keep us safe. Those jobs, like, I'm just thinking of my own career as a firefighter. Like, you would go from the highest highs. Like, I still remember this one guy we saved. This guy was a Paul or Pat? It was Paul. We saved him from a house fire. And I remember the captain, ordered me and the other guy to drag him. I was pulling on his feet. My partner had him. Anyway, I remember going home that day after night shift, and I felt like, oh, I got goosebumps even just talking about it. Whew, might even get emotional. Like, the highest highs of, we just saved another human being. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, Anyway, so like that job can have the highest highs and then it can have the lowest lows. Like I remember doing CPR on a mom who was pregnant at the time and her two kids, two or three, yeah, one was like 8, one was like 4. Her 2 kids sitting there watching us do CPR on the mom, and just that feeling of, oh god, they're losing their mom right in front of them. Like it's guys, it's some people think, oh, they have it easier. And emergency services, or even volunteers, doesn't matter. Doing that, like it's high, the highs are highs, the lows are lows. Yeah, so thank you to all the men and women who do what they do. Ben, thanks for the answer. Thankful yous were okay in the crash. Yeah, no, 100%, Ben. 100%. So yeah, networking is powerful. Again, thank you so much to the women for what you guys do, emergency service providers. Now, for people who are wondering, if you're just logging on, you're like, hey, Dave, what do you do? What do you and Mel do? So we're full-time real estate investors. We invest in 5 different countries, right? Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. We have now purchased 264 units, and we use other people's money and creative financing. Now, I know you might say, Dave, other people do that as well. One of the biggest things is we do not have joint venture partners, meaning if we buy a building, it's ours. We don't have any partners. Okay. We use other people's money to buy the deal, but we prefer to keep 100% of the equity and 100% of the decision making, 100% of the cash flow, all of that. So that's one of the biggest differences between Mel and I. And like I said, we do this in 5 different countries. The other cool thing is our bread and butter is multifamily real estate. Okay, multifamily real estate, long-term rentals, providing people a place to live and stay with their families. However, we do short-term or midterm rentals as well in some of our buildings. Like I know some units we've done, for example, we've rented to, trying to think of some examples here. The movie industry. If they're shooting a movie and they're here for 3 to 6 months, we've done it with forest firefighters, right? Where if they're, during the fire season, they needed a place to stay. We've done it with traveling nurses. We've done it with people on contracts, consultants. So yeah, midterm rentals as well. We've done it, I think, with like some big agencies. I won't name their names, but like big chain restaurants or big chain department stores where they're training the new manager and they need to do a 3 or 6 month stint. So we've done some midterm rentals as well. We do some short-term rentals. That's a lot more in the vacation areas. So Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Orlando. But yeah, definitely our go-to is long-term rentals, multifamily places. And that's where the network and net worth is so important because just think about this. I'll talk about the big 5, okay? I'll talk big 5, the contacts that you need that we are able to provide inside of the Action family, which we'll be chatting about tomorrow. So DM us the word live if you're interested for the webinar. You also get our Amazon best-selling book if you attend the webinar. So, whoops, I didn't open the chat here. Let me open the chat. There you go. Oh, man, I didn't even see the chat. My bad. Sorry, guys. There we go. Sean, you were both made. Thanks, Sean. Art. No better feeling than saving someone's life. Yes, Art, that's amazing. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't have the chat open. Sorry, guys. Jode here from Jupiter. Hey, thoughts on creative financing? Yes. How can I serve you? Sean, yes, we're ready to start building our portfolio once again. Also excited for all your new ventures, Dave. Thank you. Ex-Army here. Yeah, awesome, Sean. Yeah, I know, guys. Yeah, that's right, Sean. You're ex-Army and you guys were nurses. So you guys know what I'm talking about. Art, you're part of the Action family too, Sean and Brittany. Art, I think you were Coast Guard or Marine Guard, I forget. But yeah, a lot of different emergency services that we'd love to thank. But what was I saying earlier? It's that's exactly what we're able to show is how to do this. Sweet Escape says, how is it possible to invest in all these countries? So, and think about this, right? Like, because people will say, Dave, well, I'm not a citizen of all those countries. Well, neither am I. Like, I'm a Canadian citizen, right? So in those other 4 countries, Mal and I are foreign nationals. So it doesn't mean because you're a foreign national that you cannot that you cannot invest in other countries, things are different. Like, let's say in the US, like I'm investing in Ohio, Texas, and Florida in the US. Is it different for me as a Canadian citizen with no status in the US to buy there than, let's say, a US citizen? Yeah, there's going to be some differences. However, it is still doable. Okay. So definitely doable. It's just, you have to know the rules, play within them. And it's just a little bit of difference in regards to like interest rates and loan to value, the loan size that they'll give you. So a little bit of differences. However, definitely still doable. And that's what I love about it, is these creative financing strategies are possible. They're transferable. So for example, we have people in the Action family who live in Mexico and actually invest in the US. I think they're investing in Texas or Arizona. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is you can definitely do this. Okay. And if you are interested, again, like I said, Mel and I have a webinar tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Just DM us the word live. We will send you the link as promised as well. If you attend the webinar, stay right to the end. We will give you our one of our Amazon best-selling ebooks. Okay, we actually have 3 Amazon bestseller. I say we. Mel has 3 Amazon bestsellers. I have 2. She did a book for just women, so I was not part of it. But yeah, you get one of them that we did together. The other thing too, again, we release a new YouTube video tomorrow about Abigail. Abigail talks about, it's on Mel's Woman of Action show. She talks about how she's building her portfolio. She talks about the importance of your network is your net worth. And she also talks about repositioning and stabilizing your assets, which I 100% agree is so important, that it can't just be all growth all the time, that you do need to, right? What's that saying? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So ironing out your processes, making sure that you're doing the right things and that you're, accomplishing things as well. What was I going to say? Yeah, we're about to hit, are we there yet? We're about to hit 75,000 subscribers on YouTube. Nope, we're at 74,826. Whew. Hopefully we hit 75K in the next day or two, which will be a huge milestone. Mel and I appreciate everyone that's following us. Well, in every platform, right? I think Face or Instagram, we've got like 280,000 followers. Facebook, I forget. I think it's like 150 or 170. TikTok is over 200. YouTube is now at 75. I just know that in total, guys, and I appreciate, whatever platform you're logging into. Mel and I appreciate all the followers, everyone that gives us likes and comments, or even if you disagree with one of my posts, right? I'd rather hear from you to see what you think. And then, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it's like, oh, I didn't know what I didn't know. And I can explain a little bit more. But yeah, I appreciate all 850,000 followers that we have on various platforms. Sweet Escape, I'll be there tomorrow. Boom. See you there, man. Singer, but you, first time I'm watching live. Good vibe and info. Thank you, Singer. Mel and I we try and be like, how do I say this? I can't be anything other than what we are. Like, you know what I mean? And we hear that at conferences, and when people meet us, like, oh, you're actually like how you look on social or how you act on social. And it's like, well, yeah, like, well, how can I be how can I be anything else? So no, appreciate that, Singer. Hopefully you come to the webinar and give us a like, or not give us a like, subscribe to whatever platform you're logging in from. And again, we provide content every single day, right? Brittany would love to be on Mel's Woman show. She's currently, Brittany would love. Yeah, guys, 100%. If you're and that's the thing, guys, how tall are you? I would say 5'10" or 5'11". You know what? Let's say 5'10". Let's go on the shorter side just in case. But I remember in my hockey days when we'd fill out our profiles, I was definitely over 6 feet though. But anyway, we'd stretch that one. Yeah, Sean, anyone that's part, this is what I love. Anyone who's part of our Action family, guys, this is what I love. We're all about anything that we can do to help you guys, your growth, right? Your network, which again helps your net worth. Anything that we can do to help the Action family grow in any aspect of it, whether it's getting more deals, whether it's getting more contacts. Oh yeah, I've talked about contacts. Team Maisa, help me remember that I need to talk about the big 5. Okay. because I get sidetracked. Someone asked a question, and I'm like a squirrel. I'm like Millie here in the background, my German Shepherd, and I go to the next topic. But that's the thing. If we can help anyone, especially, hey, if you're in the Action family and you want to get your message out there, again, Mel and I have a platform, YouTube subscribers of 75,000. Well, I'm jinxing myself here, Dave. I'm not there yet. I'm at 74,800 subscribers. So hopefully you guys here live can subscribe and help me get to that 75K. So yeah, let's go to the big five before I forget. So this is the thing, your network. Okay. Let's start with, got to stay hydrated here. My bald noggin in the sun. Probably not a good idea, but I'm in Northern Ontario. There's only so many days with sun left that I got to take advantage. So let's talk lawyers. Let's talk lawyers, attorneys, notaries. Like, and it's not even their fault. I'm not saying this maliciously. It's not all of them are created equal. For example, I talked to a lady. She was from Canada. I think she's in Florida. And we were just talking about differences and because she understands creative financing, right? She's an attorney. And we were just talking about how some people just don't get it, right? Because she's like, she deals with lawyers all day, every day. And she sees how other lawyers, other attorneys just don't get it. I'm the same way, right? Whenever I'm talking to lawyers or attorneys that are not the people that I currently use for my deals, sometimes I'll say things like seller financing, where the seller holds a first or a second mortgage. And sometimes I will get the rebuttal back of, oh, you can't do that here, or oh, that doesn't work in this province, or that doesn't work in this state. Well, yes, it does. Okay, so then you end up having that conversation. It's like, well, but again, I'm not saying anything malicious. It's just they don't know what they don't know. Okay, so to them it doesn't exist because they've never done it before. Same thing with accountants and CPAs. They might say sometimes, something that I'll get is same thing with the creative financing or things like that. Or sometimes they'll be closed-minded on entities, right? So corporations in Canada or LLCs in the States, they'll be closed-minded on that. Or they'll say, oh no, for accounting purposes that, you're better the other way. And it's like, well, okay, Mr. or Mrs. Accountant or CPA, you're looking just from the lens of a accountant or CPA. But there's a whole bigger picture, like my portfolio, my generational wealth, succession planning, probate, passing the deals on to my kids or the next, so all that stuff where the lawyers might say something and then the mortgage. And then anyway, so that as well. So not all accountants or CPAs are created equal. Mortgage brokers, a lot of different mortgage brokers will say, no, you can't have a second mortgage behind a first mortgage. And they might be right. And again, in their world, if they are using the A lenders and traditional financing, they are correct. 99.9, I'm not going to quote a number on that. I shouldn't do that, but they're correct in the majority of situations, maybe with those A lenders, right? The bigger banks, because they're not financially, they're federally mandated to do a certain thing. However, there's a whole other financing world of creative financing, of different lenders that do allow that. So again, when I hear mortgage brokers say, no, you can't do that, or it's illegal, or it doesn't work here, I immediately know that they are not geared towards creative financing. And that's fine. And not everyone is a creative financing, fan or expert. Millie, leave it. Look, I don't know if you see Millie. See her, she got her back all up there. She got her tail. There's a trail back there. I don't know if I can see. They come up. There's a trail back there. Sometimes people walk, but so if you hear Millie bark, it's because she's barking at other dogs back there. But what was I saying? So even the mortgage brokers, again, they might not understand how to use registered funds, right, in mortgages. So in Canada, that would be like your RSPs, your TFSAs, your LIRAs. It would be in the US, your 401k, your Roth IRA, right? So, again, I'm not saying that they're wrong. It's just for our deals that we like doing, they just can't serve us the way that we need to grow our portfolio. Investor focused. Millie's got a tough life, just hanging out at the pool. I want to come back as a dog next time. I want to come back as Millie, just hanging out. What was I saying? I'd probably get bored of that. No, I need purpose. What did I say? Lawyers, accountants, insurance brokers. OMG. As part of the Action family, we actually have, right? This is all about the network is the net worth, right? We actually have group rates. So we have an Action family group rate, which in my opinion is better coverage for less money. So for example, as an investor, I have a building that had a fire in it, right? This one's been vacant for a while. I've been talking anyway, long story short, if I didn't have the coverage that I had, I would probably have to come up with like six figures to get it put back the way that it needs to be put back. So having investor focus insurance providers is so important. I literally on this have saved over six figures on just this one deal. And I've had fires. I actually have a YouTube video. Yes. Again, if you're not following us on YouTube, guys, please do so. I have one. That one was in a sevenplex. This one's a triplex right now that I'm dealing with. We had one in a sevenplex. One of the units, the majority of the times it's cigarettes and cooking, right? They had burnt it down, but we have a YouTube video on it. You see the before and the after and the renovations and everything. But again, if we didn't have the insurance provider that we had and the coverage that we had, which is part of our network, which helps increase our net worth, we wouldn't have put anyway. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. The last one out of the big five of the network that you'll need that's so important, right, to help you is real estate agents, right? When you're doing, well, they're an extension of you when you're doing a deal. Sorry, I got a tickler. Extension of you when you're doing a deal. So, for example, let's say you want to put an offer in and ask for, seller financing or a VTB or a second mortgage or whatever. If the agent that you're using is dead set against doing that, they don't understand it, they think it's illegal, they think it doesn't work in this province or state, you're you're at a standstill, right? So that's why we like using investor focused real estate agents that get it, right? Sean, I live in the Netherlands. Hey, oh my gosh, coming in from the Netherlands. That's what I love about social media. I am in North Bay, Ontario, Canada. No one knows where that is. I'm 3.5 hours north of Toronto. Okay. And I'm on a library now, and Sean from the Netherlands is tuning in. I love it. The Dutch system doesn't allow for you to take out more than one mortgage. Is there an option for me? Honestly, Sean, like we're doing this in Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. I cannot talk on the Netherlands. I have zero experience there. You know what I mean? I just don't want to overstep, man. I know my lane, and I just don't want to make stuff up if yeah, I honestly don't know. So I just don't want to make stuff up and say yay or nay. Sean, if you're like, hey Dave, I want to invest in Canada, or if I want to invest in the US, which I know a lot of people want to invest in the US from different countries, right? I could definitely help you with that. But as for the Netherlands, I would just be speculating. I would just be guessing, which I don't want to do. I don't want to give you bad info, man. I'd rather say, hey, I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense, Sean. Any other questions, guys? And if you want to attend, like I mentioned, excuse me, the webinar tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Mel and I go live. Just DM us the word live. It's starting to rain? If it does, I'll have to wrap up. Not because laptop here. I don't want that. Starting to rain? No, I don't think so. There's clouds that way, but and if you're just tuning full time, it is 9/11. Thank you so much to all the the emergency services, the police, fire, ambulance, military, nurses, doctors. I'm missing some here: Coast Guards, Marine, Army, military, like anyone who's in emergency services that protects us in our worst of times. Thank you so much to those that lost their lives, the families that are left behind. Excuse me. Again, couldn't even imagine being in that spot. But yeah, definitely. If you're out and about today and you see a cop, a firefighter, a paramedic, a nurse, give them a hello. You don't know what they got going on in their day. Maybe bring them a along with, oh, I think action. I message the team. Let me know if I'm still alive. Here, let me turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. Yes, okay. So I lost connection, but anyway, guys, yeah, it is 9/11. When I used to work at the fire hall and I would work on 9/11 days, or I would work on Christmas or Father's Day or whatever it was, honestly, it always felt super awesome when someone would drop off a pizza and say, you know what, thank you so much for what you guys do, appreciate it. And it was like this random act of kindness. And it was like, this is awesome, right? We're stuck away from our family and our loved ones. And same thing, people would drop off coffee sometimes on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Someone would drop off, take 10 or whatever you call it. Here's some coffee. Awesome. Thank you so much. Who knows now? I was a firefighter before COVID. Who knows what the rules are now? But yeah, just wanted to say that as well. So thank you, Sean. Appreciate the answer, Dave. Yeah, 100%, Sean. I just don't want to BS you if it's something I don't know. So as I mentioned, guys, tomorrow we are releasing Abigail's YouTube video, which she talks about buying some assets. She talks about not over leveraging, repositioning, stabilizing the portfolio. We talk about your net worth. Net worth is your net worth, which I want to chat about today. That's why I want to do the live. Got my buddy Millie with me here. Is she looking at me? No, she's looking at the pool. But what was I saying? Yeah, so if you're not following us on YouTube, please follow us. About to cross the 75,000 subscribers threshold, mark, whatever you want to call it. Lalit Singh, advice someone who is, excuse me, in the early phase of his career. Okay, what career are you in? Like, are you in real estate investing, or are you? What I would do, honestly, knowing what I know now, is if you're in the early phase of your career, oh, it is starting to rain. This could be my last one. I would definitely buy some real estate so that when you're in the later phase of your career and you don't necessarily want to keep doing what you're doing, you'll have money to retire. But I will wrap it up there because it is start to rain on me. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your